Can you imagine a happy wedding filled with joy and celebration, transforming into a nightmare within moments? This is the tragic tale of a wedding in Iraq, where happiness turned into a tragedy due to a small mistake in safety, causing the death of over 100 lives and injuring over 150 innocent people, leaving a community of people in mourning and the nation in shock. This is the tragic story of the Iraq wedding incident. In the small town of Qurakosh, just southeast of Mosul, Iraq, the night air was once filled with celebratory music and laughter. Al-Haytham Hall, a renowned event venue on the outskirts of town, was hosting a joyous occasion, a wedding. This town, primarily known for its Assyrian Christian population, had already endured years of turmoil and reconstruction following the devastation wrought by the Islamic State in 2014. Half of its original population of about 50,000 had returned, carrying hopes of a peaceful and brighter future. As the evening progressed, the wedding hall, brimming with guests, became the stage for a heartrending tragedy. Around 22:00 local time, as the bride and groom shared a dance, the hall was suddenly transformed into a deadly inferno. Fireworks intended to add sparkle to the celebration became the catalyst for disaster. Stray sparks from these fireworks reached the highly combustible ceiling, made of sandwich panels, vinyl sheets, and fabric. Within moments, the entire hall was engulfed in flames. The inferno was merciless. Witnesses recounted the horror of the ceiling catching fire and rapidly spreading, leaving guests with little time to react. The scene was one of utter chaos, people scrambling for safety, but many finding none. Videos circulating online captured the initial moments of the blaze, showing the unsuspecting guests in the dance floor just before disaster struck. In one, 4 large fountain fireworks can be seen, alight in the hall, with guests sitting at long tables nearby. Then, a large ceiling decoration, covered with tassels and lights, is consumed by fire, accompanied by the sounds of screams and panic. The power failure shortly after the fire began only amplified the chaos. The darkness made it nearly impossible for guests to find their way out. Many of the 82 injured suffered severe burns, with health officials reporting that the majority were completely burned and others had burns covering 50 to 60 of their bodies. Sadly, the death toll from this tragedy was staggering. Initial reports suggested as many as 119 deaths, but a government investigative committee later confirmed the loss of 107 lives. Among the survivors were the bride and groom, who, despite escaping with minor physical injuries, faced the unimaginable grief of losing close relatives. The bride lost her entire family, 3 brothers, uncles, and young cousins. The groom's mother was also among those who perished. Friends and family members of the couple told of their devastating losses, painting a picture of a joyous celebration turned into a night of horror. In the wake of the fire, the Iraqi government launched a thorough investigation. Interior Minister Abdul Amir al-Shamari announced the committee's findings, declaring the fire an accident and an act of God. The investigation pointed to the fireworks as the primary cause, with the flammable decorations on the ceiling contributing to the rapid spread of the blaze. The head of the investigative committee highlighted that the pyrotechnic devices shot sparks 4 meters into the air, reaching the hall's ceiling and igniting the fire. The aftermath of the fire saw a flurry of accountability and preventive measures. 14 people were arrested, including the hall's owner and those involved in setting off the fireworks. The mayor of Qurakosh, along with several other officials, was sacked for failing in their duties. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani called for the strictest punishments for those responsible for negligence or failings that led to the fire. He also ordered intensified building inspections and verification of safety procedures at various public. Among the survivors was Rania Wad, a 17-year-old attendee. She got burned on her hand. She told the AFP news agency about what happened. She said, "When the fireworks went up, they touched the ceiling and then the whole place caught on fire." One woman who lost her 27-year-old daughter and grandchildren said that this was not a wedding. This was hell, as she cried and hid herself as she waited for officials to return the bodies of her loved ones. Another unnamed man said that he saw the fire pulsating coming out of the hall. Those who managed got out and those who didn't got stuck. Another unnamed survivor interviewed by Rudolph said that he had more than 20 relatives present at the wedding, and some of them died in it. Another unnamed man whose hand and face were burned said he managed to save his 3-year-old grandson, but his 50-year-old wife, Bashra Mansour, fell while trying to flee the blaze and died. The Interior Minister, Mr. Shamari, declared on Sunday that the fire was caused by an accident and it wasn't done intentionally. He further said that the fireworks were the main cause of the incident, which caused the fire breakout. He also said that the hall had the capacity of a total of 500 people, but more were present in it. Also, the hall owner thought that a short circuit caused the fire, so he cut off the electricity. The darkness caused more panic and fear among the people in the hall. Also, the hall was covered with highly flammable, low-cost metal composite panels, which collapses within minutes when a fire breaks out. These composite panels, made from plastic and aluminum, were blamed for the reason of helping the flames to spread. These materials shouldn't be combustible, including the wedding decorations. He also said that these sorts of fires are all completely avoidable. People themselves bring fireworks to such events, but they don't think about how this could go wrong. Due to these combustible materials in the hall, 14 people were arrested, including the hall's owner and 4 other people involved in setting off the fireworks, but some have since been released. Luckily, the Prime Minister has demanded the toughest punishments permitted by law for those people who are responsible for negligence or failings that led to this tragic fire. There are videos on the internet that show what happened. In one video, you can see big fireworks going off inside the hall. People were sitting at long tables listening to loud music, but then suddenly part of the ceiling that had pretty lights and decorations caught fire. Everyone started to scream. In another video from a different view, you see the bride and groom and their guests trying to move away from burning pieces falling from the ceiling. Right after this, all the lights went out. It became very hard to see and get out of there. This caused more panic among the people at the wedding. Some died due to the burning of fire, while some died due to suffocation. Luckily, both the bride and groom survived the fire, although they both suffered minor burns and lost close relatives. The bride lost her whole family, about 3 brothers, all of her uncles, and her young cousins, while the groom lost his mother. Mourners have mourned the death of 100 people killed in the devastating fire that erupted during the wedding. This tragedy brought to light the ongoing struggles of Iraq, a country still grappling with the legacy of dictatorship, war, and unrest. The incident was a stark reminder of the consequences of overlooking safety standards, an issue prevalent in a nation plagued by corruption and mismanagement. The Quarakosh wedding fire, in its devastation, echoed previous tragedies in the country, such as the hospital fires in 2021, which also claimed dozens of lives due to similar failings in safety and infrastructure. The town of Quarakosh, already scarred by years of conflict, now mourns the loss of over 100 of its people. The community, once hopeful in its slow journey toward recovery, faces a new kind of rebuilding, one of hearts and spirits broken by an unexpected tragedy. The stories of the survivors and the memories of those lost will forever mark the town, serving as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of vigilance and safety in every aspect of society. As we reflect on this tragedy, it is crucial to consider the broader implications of such incidents. How do we ensure that joyous celebrations do not turn into tragic events? What measures can be taken to prevent similar disasters in the future? These are questions that not only the people of Iraq, but communities worldwide must ponder and act upon to safeguard the lives and happiness of their citizens. Such incidents are not rare in Iraq, since the safety standards are often poorly observed in Iraq, which has been plagued by decades of mismanagement and corruption in Iraq. Unfortunately, this isn't the only time fire accidents have happened in Iraq. According to the news, Iraq has recorded over 21,000 fire incidents in 2023 alone. Majority of these were caused due to lack of cautions and safety precautions. However, after this incident, the Prime Minister has ordered all relevant authorities to intensify building inspections and verification of safety procedures at many shopping centers, restaurants, event halls, and hotels. So hopefully these fire incidents can be reduced in the future for Iraq. In closing, let's remember the lives lost in this tragedy and use their stories as a catalyst for change and to improve safety measurements and always take precautions. We urge you to share your thoughts and join us in advocating for stricter safety measures worldwide to avoid such incidents and tragedies in the future. Together, we can strive to prevent such tragedies and honor the memory of those we've lost.